Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jam DeMatteis, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hello, kids, and welcome to the first episode of X-Men Classics, or as we like to call it, Marvel Tales by any other name.
Marvel Tales After X.
Oh, better than Twitter. All right, I am Phil, joining me as always, that X-Owl himself. It is
Justin the Owl, morphing to another form to talk about the X-Men with Phil.
His mutant power, he can sense biscuits at a 5-mile radius.
That's right. At least 5 miles.
All right. So yes, this much longer than I remember. All right. So yes, to start us off, we figured we would cover some number ones, compare and contrast. So yes, we're going to talk the original X-Men number one from 1963, and then of course we had to talk X-Men 1 through 3 from 1991. Seeing as how X-Men number one was. Is that still the best-selling comic of all time, I believe?
Does it still hold the record?
It might. I mean,
it very well may.
It's a hard record.
Yeah.
Because what was that? Was that a million? That was at least 1 million, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah.
Hold on. I know I've looked this up before. So.
And it's cool also because it's like 30-year increments, like between the Uncanny X-Men number one and X-Men number one was 30 years, and it's been 30 years since X-Men number one now.
Oh yeah. List of. Okay, here we go. 10 best-selling comics of all time. All right. Of course, the list has to go backwards. All right.
Of course.
Yes. X-Men number one is number one still.
It's still number one. Wow. That's impressive.
8,186,500.
Wow. That's incredible still to this day.
Yes. Number two was X-Force number one with 5 million copies.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's equally a surprise.
Oh, geez. Number 3, Adventures of Superman 500 with 4,200,000.
Wow.
Where the reign of the Superman starts.
Oh, that's not the death of Superman?
No, that's kind of, where that's where we first get introduced to all the Superman.
Oh.
No, number 4 is the death of Superman 75.
Oh, that was 4 on the list. Okay.
Yeah, 3 million copies, yes. I knew it was on here somewhere. Number 5, Spider-Man number 1 from 1990.
That had to be on there somewhere.
2,500,000 copies sold.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Number 6 is Spawn number 1 with 1,700,000. So yeah, McFarlane has 5 and 6.
That makes sense. This Spawn was huge. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my. Number 8 is Marvel Comics number 1 from 1939.
What?
Marvel Comics number 1, the Human Torch on the cover. They're saying that's number 8 of all time.
Really?
Yeah, with 880,000 copies.
Oh, wow.
Like, really?
That's strange.
All right. We're here to talk some X-Men.
Yes. And we're going to go back 60 years.
Oh, we're going to go to where all it started. All 20 million X books, you get a month. It all started.
It all started here for 12 cents.
Oh, jeez. Like little says you can invent a time machine, so. When you see her with her and Justin with a bunch of hung young men in their house,
Absolutely,
wallpapered in Action Comics #1.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
Some prime Hollywood biscuits from the golden age. You
Oh
better
my!
believe it.
Oh, there you go. Hey, okay. All time could be any time in history. Who was the hottest biscuit in Hollywood ever?
From the old time, probably Marlon Brando or James Dean, like one of those.
Oh, really?
Like those, yeah. Especially Marlon Brando was like a young Marlon Brando, like in those first few movies he did in the 50s. God, yeah.
Oh my!
That's definitely flood the basement material.
Oh my!
Oh, that's naughty.
I know Lilith and I and DG Chichester just reviewed Goldfinger. I was like, no young Sean Connery.
Oh. Yeah, he wasn't bad. Yeah, he wasn't bad.
All right. I'm just pulling up some synopses here. All right. So, yes, I have some thoughts, especially on this first one. All right. X-Men, because I was like, wait a minute, yeah, it was only called X-Men because I think I just saw it when I was pulling up synopsis. I guess they didn't like rename this series the Uncanny X-Men. I thought it was earlier than, but I think it's like those issues where they did like Days of Future Past. I'm like, it was like around
really
42 or something. I'm like, that was that long for them to rename the Uncanny? I thought it was way more than that.
Yeah, me too. That's really surprising.
All right, so yes, X-Men #1 from September 1963. The title X-Men. So who put all the thought into that title? Well, kids, your writer Stan Lee,
Excelsior,
penciler Jack Kirby, inker Paul Reinman. There is no credited colorist. Letterer Sam Rosen and editing himself, Stan Lee.
Excelsior,
doing double duty back in '63.
And you know it's gonna be a wild time when your writer's editing himself.
And I love how the colorist gets no credit on this issue.
That's I know. Funny. So basically, anyone who's alive at that time can take credit, kids.
Yeah.
All right, so at Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters in Westchester County, New York, Professor Charles Xavier summons his students telepathically. When the Beast, Angel, Iceman, and Cyclops arrive, he puts them through a series of exercises to hone their mutant talents. Xavier then introduces them to a new student, Marvel Girl, to whom he explains the purpose of his school. His students do receive an education, but they are also the first line of defense against evil mutants. Meanwhile, at Cape Citadel, Magneto causes a rocket to crash. The next day, he takes over the whole base and claims it is in the name of Homo Superior, i.e. mutants. When Xavier hears about the incident, he sends his X-Men on their first mission. Cyclops uses his eye beams to make a hole in Magneto's force field, thus alerting him to their presence. Magneto launches a volley of heat-seeking missiles, which lock on the Angel. Iceman knocks most of them out, and the Beast catches the last one. Magneto then sends metal debris at Angel. Cyclops destroys it. Magneto flings a burning tanker truck at the team. Iceman covers them with an ice shield, and Cyclops blasts a tunnel under the flames so they come up near Magneto. Unprepared for such power and resourcefulness, Magneto sets up another force field and levitates himself to safety. All right. Thoughts on the beginning of All Mutant Kind here, Justin?
It's a bit of a mixed bag, this first issue, Phil. Yeah, because we get some good action with the fight between the X-Men and Magneto, which, in my opinion, is kind of the highlight of the issue. Like, the action is where it's at for me. But on the other hand, you get some really crappy dialogue when they're introducing Jean. And you've got what power do you have? She has one very obvious power, the power to make a man's heart beat faster. like that type of stuff. Oh my word!
I know. Hello, Russell. Oh, my stars and garters. Yeah, I know, and I don't know if it's just Stan not knowing where he was going to go in later issues, but I'm like, there's no, at least to me, there was no. It didn't seem like who's beside who's the leader of the X-Men in the field. I'm like, I easily could have seen them making from the way that issue 1 went, and if I knew nothing else, I could easily say, oh yeah, Angel's like the field leader,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah,
he had at least as much to do as Cyclops, if not more.
yeah, it was very ambiguous. And did you like how Cyclops was Slim Summers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, what's Russell said the original X-Men stuff kind of stinks, much like Hulk took a while to find its footing.
It's true, and also these original X-Men issues, I have such a hard time with non-blue furry beast, like regular Hank McCoy with big hands and big arms, just and big feet, just doesn't do it for me. Yeah.
You heard it here first, kids. For the first time ever, Justin has a problem with big feet.
Keep those big feet away from me.
Oh my! Justin just like that as an indicator. That's all.
That's right. That's right.
I think there was one panel, didn't they? I mean, they drew his hands and feet pretty hairy, but yeah, no, he's not blue furred beast at this point.
This is way away from that.
Okay,
because that didn't happen until the 70s, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna get to that in October.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay. Here's my question. On page 1, why is Iceman dancing on a pole?
Oh yeah.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
He's doing some calisthenics.
Here we go. Quick succession. Russell, preach it. Blue Beast, the best beast. Yes. Not Lion Beast either.
Yes. No, we're not going to talk about.
Also, non-war criminal. Yes.
We're not going to talk about evil beast.
I hope they keep this, but the new X-Force came out. Was it like 2 weeks ago? And they kind of like brought back like a clone of Beast that it basically, because they even mentioned they're like, oh yeah, he has no memory past his time with the Defenders.
Oh,
so it's
really?
basically 1985 Beast. I'm like,
no kidding. Oh, good
memory. I'm like, keep him.
Yeah, that's good. Keep that around. All right. Here we go. They fixed it. I was waiting for them to fix it, and then finally they're gonna do it. All right. Unless they kill off this clone, which they might do.
But they literally mentioned they're like, oh yeah, from his Defender days. I'm like, they've been listening to us.
They were listening to Defenduary.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, and this training session, I'm like, okay, so either Professor X is like sitting on a Barker lounger in the middle of the danger room, or they're training like in the middle of the living room.
In the middle of the living room, yeah. They didn't quite have the budget figured out for the danger room yet.
Yeah, like I said, I think Stan's trying to figure out where to go and stuff. And
definitely. Yeah.
Iceman dresses up like a snowman.
With snowman, yeah. And Cyclops just out and out blasts the beast into a wall.
Yes, he's like stuck in the wall. Yes.
Yeah.
Even like cracks Iceman's little ice barrier.
Also, it should be noted at this time when we're introduced to Jean Grey, aka Marvel Girl.
Yes.
That her only power is telekinesis at this time.
Yes, she's not a telepath.
She had not yet developed her telepathic abilities as she would later. And I was trying to remember when that was. It wasn't that long after this, was it? I think I think, yeah, I thought she developed it pretty quick. Pretty quickly on in the series, yeah. But for this issue, she's just able to move things with her mind, which is still more than enough of a power for this issue, for the story that they're doing. But yeah, God, these early costumes were ugly. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ugly.
Because
Oh,
even like later on when they do the blue and gold, they look better. But here, yeah,
Hmm.
it does not look good.
yeah. Especially jeans. Oh,
Oh yeah.
terrible. And the
Although
beasts. Yeah.
as the boys point out, it clings to her figure. So like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
uh,
Jeez.
but yeah, this one panel on page, it was this page 8 or something. People have been pointing that they're like, see, Iceman's been gay from the beginning because when the rest of them are looking out the window, and be like, oh, look at her, yeah, I'm not.
Oh yes.
He's just like, oh no, I'm not a wolf like you guys. Big deal.
Yeah.
deal,
They
girl.
try to explain it that he's the youngest one, but
Yeah.
yeah, we know better. We know better. Yeah.
Big deal, girl.
I'm not a wolf like you guys.
Yeah. So yes, kids. Day one.
Day one. Yeah.
Bobby Drake showing no interest in that.
Superior puss.
It's totally canon.
Exactly.
And Bobby's Iceman appearance is very different in this. It's kind of like the original Thing, how the Thing in the when after Ben Grimm changed initially, he was kind of like faceless and lumpy and stuff. Well, so is Iceman here. He's kind of more like a snowman than Iceman.
I was gonna say they call him Iceman, but it looks like more like he's built out of snow.
Yeah.
Walking snow cone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's like like half this first issue, they see. I mean, it's training, but it seems like the X-Men are just beating the crap out of each other.
Mm-hmm. Getting in each other's way. Yeah.
Because even when like Jean showing off her powers, like, here, let me bring you a chair. No, she almost knocks the beast over when she uses her telekinesis to bring the chair over.
Yeah, leaps straight up in the air.
And again, I think it's just an unfortunate panel, but it's like, look at the size of Xavier's head in that panel.
Yeah. Oh my god, he looks like Egghead.
I know. It was like, I'm like, getting bigger. He looked like original leader.
Yeah. And he says, due to a childhood accident, I myself must remain in this chair. Childhood accident.
Yeah, that gets changed. That gets changed.
Backtrack that pretty quick. Yeah, but this whole thing with Hank kissing Jean on the cheek. Welcome to the X-Men, beautiful. Like, oh, that's so gross. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. Like we said, the era, but
I know. Yeah. Poor Jean, though, having to deal with all that.
Man, Russell's been busy. Phil, did you see the new Sabretooth War issue? Yeah, the Wolverine. Yeah. I can't believe Marvel will get away with putting out a comic that violent. Yeah, there's parental warning on it. It gets bloody.
Oh, is there parental warning on that one?
Yeah, there's a bunch of Sabretooths show up. Yeah. I mean, people get killed. Then at the end of the first issue? Yeah, so like Sabretooth and his people, because he has like all these alternate Sabretooths with him, but it's like they killed a bunch of people and like spelled out words with body parts. It's
my word.
I know, and it's not like a Max comic, it's the regular Wolverine comic. I'm like, whoa. Okay. But yeah, they do put warnings on the cover.
Well, for Wolverine, though, that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah, I don't think no one that, especially in this day and age, is expecting a nice family-friendly story from a Wolverine. One thing Hickman nailed about X-Men is that Professor X was always a creep. Yes, I think that they played with that a little in the 90s too, I think. But yeah. He's in love with his underage student. Yeah, yeah. Because I think even during like the Onslaught days when they were discovering like Professor X was like
his secret tapes and stuff.
I think like I don't know if Jean went in his head or something and kind of saw with like his thoughts is like this girl I love, and it's like, wait, what?
What? What are you talking about, Charles?
Oh man, Russell Juggernaut, bitch.
That's coming up in July.
Yeah, hey Russell, stay tuned to Ultimate Spider-Cast in July. Lilith and I are going to do all the time Spider-Man either on his own or with the X-Men battle the Juggernaut. So
Juggernaut July,
bitch.
I love it.
Oh my god, we're finally going to do an edited or a family-friendly version of for the Patreon. The one time we covered Amazing Spider-Man 229 and 230. Spider-Man battles the Juggernaut. It's like those Rogers. Yeah. And on the Patreon, every time the Juggernaut's name was mentioned, I said the effing Juggernaut. I lost track of how many times.
gonna do a new version of that?
Yeah, but we're gonna. You're gonna be. Oh, Lilith. I don't know if I can hit the button that much, but I should be like, I'm the Juggernaut.
You might break that button by the end of the
I
episode.
know.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, you could edit those. I'm like, no, there's so many F's in that. I lost. I did the next 6 months.
That'd be all that you hear for the whole episode.
Russell, I'd be happy to guest if you ever discuss Mr. Sinister or Apocalypse. Well, I mean, we'll get there eventually.
Oh yes, we're gonna cover everything.
Oh yeah, I know Ray wants to do X Factor. At least that's
definitely. We'll do some Peter David X Factor.
I was gonna say Ray just wants to do Peter David X Factor, right? Because I was gonna say at some point we got to do some of the early X Factor.
Oh yeah, I love all the I love the whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing of X Factor. I love all of it. I even like some X Force. I love Fabian's stories. I don't care who's drawing it. Even if Rob Liefeld has little pick feet, I'll still read it for Fabian's stories and the characters. Yeah, and this, as we'll get into in a little bit, the blue and gold era of X-Men is a particular favorite of mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we might have to do an episode of X-Men Classics, or when is that? Is that when's Deadpool 3 come out? Is that like May?
Is it May now?
Or is it July?
July.
Yeah.
I think it's July now.
I was gonna say maybe we should do some early X-Force with Deadpool in it. Yeah.
Yeah, we should. I think we covered his first appearance already, didn't we? On an early issue of episode of Marvel.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. What was that, episode 2? Yeah, we did do New Mutants 98, which was his very first appearance. Yeah. Ray should read Peter David's Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine. Talk about some Cyber Mondays. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Russell did a whole series on the villain called Cyber.
Oh my!
Who was introduced in Marvel Comics Presents as a adamantium laced opponent for Wolverine.
I'm talking about doing the Lord's work. Oh yeah, kids. So it's not just all X-Men beating on each other in this issue. Yes, we also get the first appearance of Magneto.
We do. Yes, an important milestone indeed.
Looking all villainous. So yes, he's messing with missiles in this rocket base. So again, it's 1963. So we're either dealing with radiation or the military.
The military, yeah.
Russell, Magneto was right. Okay, Lil, let's settle down. I love Magneto makes like that floating message in the air, just with like random
surrender the base or I'll take it by force, and then in cursive Magneto.
I know he makes a message with like dust particles and stuff with his powers. It makes his signature cursive.
I love that. If I had that power, I would get up to so much mischief, writing stuff in the sky.
I mean, I guess it's his first introduction kind of to the world. But I'm just like, because would someone be like, what's a force Magneto? No, my force, and I am Magneto. Oh. Okay, Russell, I'm going to take what you just wrote and I'm going to make a joke out of this. All right. What do Justin and Magneto have in common? They're both always messing with missiles. He's always messing with missiles.
Double biscuits for gonna be some dicks waving
here's a message to you, Justin. Remember the proto Magneto in the early?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, that's
definitely.
Was it the Metal Master or whatever his name?
Yeah, the Metal Master. Yeah. Oh man, some of those early Hulk stories were groan-inducing.
I know. I read some of them. Yeah.
Oh.
The Toad Men.
Oh God.
Yeah, I did listen to your episode when you guys did those, but yeah, I've read those.
We had to cover them. We had to do those early ones.
You're doing a Hulk podcast. You got to cover them first.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad we got them out of the way early. Let's put it that way. I'm glad we don't ever have to talk about them again, unless we absolutely have to.
Run me over with a forklift and go.
Yeah. Yeah, Russell really did not like. Oh, yeah, there were some laugh moments. We did have some laugh moments from some of those issues for sure.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all the milksop
I was gonna say, yeah,
references,
yeah,
all
milk
that.
sauce.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there was some good laughter to be had, but a lot of the dialogue, especially the way that Stan wrote some of the women back then, ugh,
Yes, yeah.
stinks. Yeah.
But yeah, Magneto just waltzes onto the base and takes over.
Yeah, I love how he just kind of casually, all those men just kind of fly out of the way.
I know.
All those soldiers, he just waltzes right through them all.
And then he just uses his magnetic waves to keep them all corralled and stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, he's claimed the whole installation. And then back at the school,
Yeah.
she's put her uniform on. Wowee! Look, she was poured into that uniform.
Where did the new doll go? Oh, there she is. Ugh. Yikes.
Oh boy. Again, it's a bunch of old men trying to write as teenagers, dialogue for teenagers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then,
Yabo, action at last, gangway.
I know, because Professor X calls them. You have 15 seconds. No excuses will be tolerated.
Yeah, Professor X is a bit of a stern taskmaster in this first issue, isn't he?
I commend you on your punctuality. Well, you threatened us telepathically.
What are you going to do? Give us a cerebral hemorrhage if we're 5 seconds late?
Exactly. So is Iceman going into battle naked? He's like, all I got to do is ice up and put my boots on.
He's got a thong on underneath all that.
Oh, my. And then, of course, yeah, okay, again, and this will be the first appearance of Angel has to strap them wings down. And
yes.
Then they got to drive to the airport and get on Xavier's little private jet there, which he pilots by mentally.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You mean the professor is guiding the plane from the ground by thought impulses?
If he can run the plane telepathically from that distance, why isn't he going to confront Magneto with that?
I know. Yeah.
Oh no, he's in a wheelchair. Yeah, well, his power's not physical, so what?
Yeah, he could just waltz out of that jet in his wheelchair and get within striking distance to Magneto and give him the telepathic whammy.
Or hell, if his power's running it from this distance, sit in the plane and do it.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to get that close. Yeah, it's so funny. And these costumes, especially in this battle. I mean, like I said, the battle is my favorite part. But these early costumes, oh my god.
Yeah, I think Stan was trying to go for like a Fantastic Four vibe where they all kind of had the same costume, but yeah.
I am not a fan of themed costumes in superhero teams. I think that's stupid.
And the blue is too dark. I mean, it's almost black. I mean, if lighter blue, maybe. But yeah, those costumes are. I don't think Jack Kirby was feeling them costumes.
No, that wasn't his best day on the designing board. But luckily, it didn't take them long, I don't think, to refine some better replacements. I think it was just a few years later they got the.
Oh yeah, once they kind of get their own separate costumes, yeah.
Yeah. That was better. That was a step in the right direction.
Oh, that Magneto firing all those missiles at the X-Men. I love Iceman. Yeah, I'll just freeze them up. They'll drop to the ground. Yeah, let's just drop these missiles from no wrong there.
Yeah, even if they fall from hundreds of feet, no big deal.
Or hey, the Beast is just gonna catch one with his feet. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be hot or nothing.
Marvel Girl mentally hurls the missile into the sea where it harmlessly detonates upon impact.
Exactly. And then Magneto throws a bunch of metal crap at Angel. The Cyclops has to blast him free.
Yeah.
Like
Heads
I
up,
said,
X-Men, here comes trouble. He's pushing a flaming thing of rocket fuel at them.
Like I said, it seems like Angel almost had more to do in this battle than Cyclops. If this was your first X-Men story ever, I might be like, yeah, the Angel's in charge.
Yeah,
the rich guy's in charge.
Yeah. He bought his way into the leader's seat.
So, after Magneto kind of, they cuddle up under Magneto, and then he's like, here I go. So, first issue, he gets away.
Yeah. Imagine that.
I know.
Ugh, he created another magnetic force field. Can't fly through.
I love at the end when was it the general or whatever? It's like, oh yeah, you call yourselves X-Men. I know I can't ask you to reveal your identities, but this day is I promise before this day is over, the name X-Men will be the most honored in my command. I'm like, oh boy, these good vibes ain't gonna last long.
This wasn't gonna last long at all.
I mean, I guess it's just like, oh wait, they were mutants. Never mind. Which again, it's stupid. It's like, and I know like racism and all that crap is like not logical anyway, but I'm just like, why would you hate mutants more than other superheroes? I'm like, they all have powers. Who cares how they got them?
Yeah, exactly. And they're using them for good. They're doing a great service to the world by stopping people like Magneto. So why would you even care? Like, it's so stupid. But it was a good recurring theme to use because it creates a lot of drama and tension. Yeah, and it is, of course, indicative of human culture, human society.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Stan was definitely going for the racism card. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, there's a bunch of trivia about this issue. Okay. Magneto's power shows that he can manipulate the magnetic field around things to enclose them in the field. This theory was debunked and later explained by future writers as his power to control the iron in one's blood and use that to contain them.
Right. That was something that he did quite a bit later on.
Oh yeah. Oh, Magneto makes a statement in the air. Oh, it's saying here he wrote his little sentence in the air using levitating bullets. The phrase "surrender the base or I'll take it by force." Magneto. This phrase is similar to the one used by the Wicked Witch in the 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz.
If I had that power, I would have written Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Oh! Oh my. What, he didn't hang himself 20 feet off the floor? Okay. You act like guys can't stab themselves to death 60 or 70 times. Oh geez. Oh yeah, because they made a joke when Beast and Iceman are training about throwing ice balls and comparing basketballs, and then they mentioned the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh right, that's right.
And yes, Cape Citadel was Cape Canaveral, blah blah blah.
Cape Citadel. That was cute.
Oh my. Okay. Of course. Yes. There has been a long-standing fandom debate whether or not Stan Lee and Jack Kirby lifted elements of the Doom Patrol to create the X-Men. Because unlike the Doom Patrol, the X-Men are led by a wheelchair-bound mentor. The members of each team wear matching uniforms and are considered freaks and/or possible menaces to society. The Doom Patrol series debuted first in the comic book My Greatest Adventure, cover dated June 1963. Lee always maintained that the similarities were entirely coincidental and pointed out that given the nature of publishing comic books in the early 1960s, the first issue of X-Men would have been far into the editing stage by the time he could have even seen an issue featuring the Doom Patrol. However, Doom Patrol creator Arnold Drake has stated that there was a lot of fraternization between the comic book creators of each company, and Lee could have known about the Doom Patrol concept before the series debuted. It is worth noting, however, that Lee and Kirby's own Fantastic Four series debuted before even Doom Patrol and was a substantial hit. Lee and Kirby were most certainly referencing the FF when they created the X-Men, and it is possible that Drake might have been inspired to create the Doom Patrol after seeing. Yeah, again, it's always the serpent eating its own tail, you know.
Yeah. One person gets inspired by something else, and it creates a chain reaction. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, as far as the Doom Patrol X-Men argument about which one came first, I'm kind of the camp where I agree that it was coincidental. I mean, the timing back then, and that wasn't the only instance rather of that happening. There were a lot of other stuff that was.
I think that's just that plot device they used back then, where it's like, oh, why isn't the leader out in the field with them? Oh, he's in a wheelchair.
Right. Definitely.
All right. Any other thoughts on this one, Justin? Before we
No.
jump ahead almost 30 years.
Yeah, that's true. Let's leap ahead 30 years.
All right, kids. Now we're going to get to the greatest selling comic of all time.
Still,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, please. X-Men Volume 2, number 1 from October 1991. Rubicon. Writers Chris Claremont and Jim Lee. Pencils by Jim Lee. Inker Scott Williams. Colorist Joe Rosas. Letterer Tom Warshawski. And editors Bob Harris and Suzanne Gaffney. A group of mutants have... Oh, the synopsis really... All right. The group of mutants have stolen a shuttle and are being pursued by some agents. Magneto arrives and tears their ships apart before bringing them on board Asteroid M. At the mansion, the X-Men are testing the building's defenses. They split into two teams, but only Wolverine, with Psylocke's help, is able to breach them. The two different crews fight on board the asteroid until Magneto stops them. One of them, Fabian Cortez, who will become a big figure in the 90s, has a suggestion for Magneto. Back at the mansion, the X-Men Blue team respond to a signal that Magneto is up to something. He has raised a nuclear submarine. Yeah, the same one he sank years ago. The X-Men confront him, but after a brief battle, he flies off with the nuclear weapons. Rogue tries to follow him to talk, but is shot down by a Russian plane. Magneto is hurt and healed by Cortez. Rogue is found in Genosha and is pursued by the newly formed Acolytes, wanting her to join them. She disagrees and fights them, and the X-Men arrive to help her. Magneto turns up and declares that Asteroid M will be a haven for all mutant kind. All right, thoughts?
I love this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
And again, this is where the whole blue team, gold team start, because yes, kids,
right.
For those of you who may not know the comics of this era, yes, Cyclops would lead the blue team and Storm would lead the gold team, because this is when the original 5 X-Men were X-Factor, and this is when they kind of folded them back into the fold for no particular reason. Not that a certain animated series want to be coming within the next year or so.
Right. They're getting all their ducks in a row, so to speak. But yeah, these two teams had been separated for years.
Oh, yeah.
And so to merge them together was a pretty big deal. And the fact that they shook up the lineups a little bit was really cool.
Oh, yeah, because all the original 5 weren't together on the same team.
Yeah, right. And you had new people like Gambit.
Oh, yeah.
And Psylocke, who had just been transformed. Jubilee. It was... You had some new characters as well. So this, like I said before, this was a particular favorite era of mine. I liked the fact that we had 2 different teams of X-Men that were very different, but both very cool.
And I'm trying to remember also, not only is it best-selling, but is X-Men 1... I was going to say, maybe it's not the first one with varying covers, but I mean, this is like the first one I remember. Didn't that thing have like 4 or 5 different covers?
It did. If I remember right, there was one that had like the front and back cover. It was like a gatefold.
Yeah. Because I know on the app, they got that.
Yes, that. Yeah.
Although, is that all the covers? Because didn't they like split up like the image? So
I feel like they did. Yeah. But then there was. Yeah, they did like 3 or 4 different printings, I think, too.
Yeah.
Sold,
Definitely.
sold so much they had to do a ton of printings of it.
That's the thing. Was like, I don't know if it's worth anything because I think there are so many copies in the wild because they printed well, again, they sold literally 8 million copies. Then they did second printings, probably third printings. It's just
I don't know. I think I just have the basic one.
And again, Jim Lee, a great artist, but that's going to be the healthiest looking Auschwitz survivor I've ever seen.
I know, right? Yeah.
Again, Lil's always like, "Oh, it's the it's the magnet to keep him young." I'm just...
He's manipulating the iron in his blood to make himself look younger.
Because again, in 91, I mean, he would have to be at least in his 60s.
Yeah, definitely in his 60s. Yeah.
I mean, he's got the gray hair, but he's a biscuit.
Silver Fox.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the first time I read this thinking that the Acolytes were kind of like a new version of the Brotherhood of Evil, or an updated version of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants from the 60s.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Like because that was kind of like a group that held Magneto, the Brotherhood rather, was a group that held Magneto almost in a kind of religious figure, like he was the one that was going to lead them all to salvation. And this is essentially what the Acolytes believe as well.
Mm-hmm.
That Magneto is the chosen messiah of mutant kind.
Oh, yeah.
And that he is going to lead mutants to a new golden age of prosperity and dominion over the earth.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could see that because I think there's a lot of homages in this for X-Men #1 because because again, the Acolytes could be the Brotherhood, which we get later, but it's like it's X-Men #1. Magneto's here. The X-Men are training at the mansion. So
right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of callbacks to this.
And we get the callback to when Magneto sunk the Leningrad, the submarine.
Yeah, because wasn't that around? Was it like I think it was like 150? It wasn't in like 150. Yeah, so it'd been a while.
It had been a long time. So yeah, it was really cool to see that reference brought back again.
But again, I mean, this training session a lot better than that first X-Men we just covered.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. Had to storm the house. I mean, oh god, I like. Then you got the big Russian biscuit crashing.
Yes, smashing right through. Oh, I love it. Looking good too. He is.
Like Gambit, Wolverine, and Psylocke coming in through the sewer.
Yeah. I remember that panel used to be a T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That used to be a T-shirt. I remember seeing that a lot.
And once again, man, that Jim Lee Psylocke looking very healthy. Yeah.
So good. So good.
I love Gambit. I love Gambit breaking in. Gives Jean the kiss, and then it's a Jean blows up. And I love Cyclops, and Jean just says, "Oh, those eyes, that grin, the body takes a girl's breath away." And Cyclops goes, "Really? When the next opportunity presents itself, remind me to drop a truck on him." Professor X is like, "Cyclops," telepathically. And Cyclops goes, "A big truck, Cyclops, a really big truck." That's when he has to speak out loud. Cyclops.
Not to worry, Professor. While you're away, old fearless leader here mastered the art of deadpan humor.
Keep calling me that furb. I'll show you deadpan. But yeah, I love this scene. Yeah, Professor X just sitting there. You see that Wolverine claw popping out. Yeah,
bursts up out of the floor.
There's still like a robot, like basically piggyback on his back. His suit's all torn up. He's like, "Your robot duplicates fold the cage and not me." I know you're sent too well. Yeah, because it was like tag the professor, so he pops those claws.
The claws out
in his face. He's like, bang! Oh,
You're it.
Late 80s, early 90s. This phrase got used over and over. Bang, you dead.
You did. Does the digital copy have this this things to come double page thing from that was in the comic?
I believe it did. Hold on, let me scroll back here.
Because that had a preview of Omega Red.
Oh yeah,
which was cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Long Shot, we see him and the Brood. I remember seeing that for the first time when I read this issue, being really excited. I was like, "Oh, cool! We're going to see Long Shot again and the Brood."
Oh yeah, you know what? Eventually, we're gonna have to cover like at least the first year of this book. Yeah, because it's 2 issues after these 3 we're doing now. Omega Reds and
Omega Red.
Yeah.
I bet Russell would like to join us for that. I know he's a big fan of Omega Red.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that. But yeah, I love the whole thing with the Wolverine and Cyclops. Is like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Those claws can cut through anything." He's like, "One slip just now," and Wolverine, "I don't slip, bub.
I don't slip."
Pulling out that
I'm
cigar.
The best there is at what I do.
Pulling out that cigar. "I don't slip, bub."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, kids, stay tuned for March. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a bunch of Wolverine for his 50th thing.
50th birthday for Mr. Wolverine.
I love. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna keep training." Wolverine's like, "Just call up my hologram if you need." He's like, "I had enough of this." And then later, Nick Fury calls them to let them know about the Magneto situation. Yeah, please come on. Again, that is the healthiest Auschwitz survivor I've ever seen.
Definitely.
Justin's like, "Uh-huh."
Yeah, letting all those abs hang out. Yeah. He's definitely been keeping up with his exercise regimen. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, we also get appearances by Banshee and one of Ray's favorites, Forge, in these.
Forge, yeah. Yep.
But yeah, this Jim Lee art is so good, especially like Magneto raises that sub and
and the battle that follows shortly after that is excellent artwork.
But yeah, just Magneto and that sub amongst all the dead bodies,
all the men that he killed,
sent to their death,
basically because he killed them all essentially with his actions.
Yeah, because they're like if they didn't die right away, they suffocated in there.
Yeah.
But I love it. Yeah, Magneto holding his own against the whole blue team. Unlike his first appearance when he couldn't handle 5 teenagers.
Things have changed quite a bit.
Oh yes, and another healthy shot of Psylocke there.
Yes, kicking him right in the face. This was cool too because I don't know if. I think Psylocke had fought Magneto before, but I'm not sure if Gambit had.
I don't think so. No, I think
so. It was nice to see these "quote unquote" newer X-Men engaged with a classic foe in battle. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if Psylocke had actually fought him yet, because he was like on their side for a while. So
yeah.
But yeah, I love. Is it this issue or the next one where Magneto's like, why did they attack me? He's like, I was their ally. He's like, Cyclops, I get. He's like, Cyclops has never trusted me and never will. But he's like, I fought next to Wolverine, stuff.
And I liked that era of Magneto as well, but he was kind of leading the X-Men, sort of almost.
Oh yeah, when they were doing that Shield briefing, they even gave you like a shot of him in that purple costume from that area.
Yeah, with the big M on it. Yeah. Yeah.
But like we said, Rogue gets shot down over Genosha. Magneto gets healed by Cortez. And then the Acolytes. Oh, this is another panel I remember seeing all through the 90s when Beast throws Wolverine to give him a fastball.
Oh, yes. The fastball special. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we saw a lot of that.
And again, I know it's Claremont, but I mean, Wolverine gets out a lot of words in midair while he's flying through midair.
Yeah, there's a few moments in this issue where things get a little wordy. Yeah,
I mean, word count. You're getting your money's worth here, kids.
absolutely.
But yeah, that is like a good panel on the last page there too. With
Oh, I love that.
Back up, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, although that cape, man, that's looking like some Todd McFarlane Batman cape there.
It really is, or almost Spawn.
I mean, it almost looks like he
going all over the place.
Whole team on it with that cape.
Yeah.
And then that whole tease at the end with Moira McTaggart saying it's all my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Which they reference an issue of Defenders next issue, which we should cover that one day.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, we could do a Magneto month one month.
That'd be fun. There's a lot of different stuff that we could cover, even his own solo stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've read a little bit of that. That's good.
Oh yeah, they didn't put any of the pinup posters from the end of the first issue. No, the things to come one they did, but there was like 3 other ones they didn't put in there on the app.
Yeah, I didn't see those either.
Because it was a villain gallery, the Blast from the Past, the original X-Men, and then the Wish You Were Here by the pool. Well, you could tell. I mean, they're all in their swimming attire, but you could tell who they were always trying to.
Oh yeah.
Sell.
Yep. My girl Betsy.
Yep.
They knew what they were doing. Come on now. Yeah.
All right. So, any other thoughts on this one?
No, I love this issue. It's always fun to go back and reread this one. It's a nice classic X-Men Claremont and Lee adventure.
Mm-hmm.
With the introduction of some important new villains, the Acolytes, as well.
Oh yeah. All right, X-Men Volume 2, Number 2 from November 1991, Firestorm. I believe we've got the same team here. Magneto and the Acolytes defeat the blue team of the X-Men and take them aboard Asteroid M. While Xavier tries to get through the Moira, they are both kidnapped by Magneto as well. Turns out that while Magneto was an infant and in Moira's care, she manipulated his genetic structure, attempting to cure a possible instability of his central nervous system. Suspecting that his condition had turned him into a villain, Magneto gets mad, having now to question his every decision since the procedure. Angrily, he makes Moira brainwash the blue team into joining his acolytes. The other half of the X-Men wonder how to help. The situation gets even more tense when Nick Fury reports that the U.S. and Russia have decided to launch a plasma cannon against Asteroid M. All right. So.
Yeah, I was surprised at... great first page, right?
Yeah, it's Magneto. Close up on Magneto.
Yeah, looking mad. That man is not happy. Yeah, I was really surprised when the X-Men were mind controlled
and
taken over like that.
But yeah, they get defeated at the beginning here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I love everyone else at the mansions all like Forge and Banshee are all panicked now because they're like, oh, Magneto's coming here next.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Man, Psylocke's got a pretty bad weakness here. You know, she can only use that psychic knife when she's like thinking or telling you what it is.
Right. She's got to explain it to you before she uses it on you.
Exactly. Really stink it.
Yeah. Although I was also surprised at how badly Fabian Cortez lays a KO on her, knocks her right out in this one.
Oh yeah. Well, he like rubs up her powers in the beginning, which is supposed to she's hearing all these telepathic thoughts and stuff, but then she's like, well, my psychic knife's stronger because it goes right through Magneto's helmet.
Yes. Yeah. She turns it to her advantage. But unfortunately, that's when Chrome comes along.
Yeah.
And takes out both Betsy and Rogue.
Oh, yeah. He even turns Beast and Gambit into Chrome, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically everyone but Cyclops and Wolverine.
Yeah.
But yes, we see the Russians are planning to attack. Professor X goes to talk to Moira at the boathouse, and Magneto lifts it into orbit.
The whole boathouse with them in it, yeah.
He tells Professor X, he's like, yeah, you can try a telepathic attack. He's like, but I'm the only thing keeping you alive up here, so this is a long way down.
Sometimes I still forget, too, that there was that story in Defenders where Magneto was turned into an infant.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still forget about that happened.
Yeah, I haven't thought of that in a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's going to be an old... Yeah, that's an old story.
Yeah.
Defenders 16.
Defenders 16, yeah.
And of course, yes, Eric the Red changed him back into adult. Then Uncanny X-Men 104.
Yes.
So he thinks, you manipulated my mind. Which I guess, so I was kind of confused, but I think what they meant was, she kind of had to do a procedure on him because, he probably had his powers as a baby, and, mutants usually don't have their powers that young, so.
Right.
It was messing with his body.
Yeah. And she makes a little bit of a reference to her own son, too. Who she was trying to help at the time.
Proteus, yep.
Proteus, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and we would start setting up the Omega Red stuff in this issue. Shinobi Shaw.
Yeah, Shinobi Shaw. The son of Sebastian Shaw.
Yep. That's funny when Magneto captures Xavier, and then he sees the blue team. He's like, "Oh, you're here, save me!" And they're like, "No, we joined Magneto." And then the gold teams running scenarios in the danger rooms. Like, how can we? They're like, well, maybe we could defeat the other team, and maybe we could defeat the Acolytes, but not together.
And Magneto. Yeah.
And Magneto, yeah.
Yeah. But that's what they've got to do, or at least try.
Well, yeah, because that's the cliffhanger. Yeah, Nick Fury telling them, well, if you're going to do something, do it now, because the U.S. and the Russia are about to, try to blow Asteroid M to hell.
They're going to obliterate it.
So yeah, the gold team's about ready to make their move.
And Banshee and Forge were part of the gold team, right?
I don't know if officially they were, but it almost seemed like, I know at least Forge was going back and forth, because I think they were still kind of playing with, will him and Storm get together and stuff. But
right, yeah.
I don't know if officially if he was, but he was kind of just like the the tech guy, so he kind of drifted back and forth between the books. Okay, yeah. And
later on, he would go on to join X Factor.
Yes. Defender 16 was October 1974.
Oh, wow.
So that was almost 20 years before this issue.
Wow. Yeah, I always forget about that storyline. He was turned into a baby.
I think it's funny the Defenders fought Magneto.
I know. That's also random.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. So, should we get to the third issue?
Yes.
All right.
Fallout.
All right. X-Men Volume 2, Number 3 from December 1991. Yes, Fallout. Same team. The gold team of the X-Men travels to Asteroid M in an undetectable spaceship. More like a glider. Desperately trying to save their teammates before the Russians destroy Magneto's base with a plasma cannon. Aboard the asteroid, Xavier helplessly sees his blue team brainwashed by Moira's technique into following Magneto, though some of them seem to realize that something is wrong. Magneto, still suffering from injuries received by Wolverine, grows more and more dependent on Fabian Cortez's cures. When the Gold Team arrives, they have to fight both their teammates and the Acolytes, but soon the X-Men remember themselves. Magneto stops the battle, wanting only Xavier, but then he collapses. Moira understands that Cortez has only boosted his powers to make him feel better. In the meantime, Cortez has escaped and intends to turn Magneto into a martyr and inspire mutants all around the world to follow him. As the plasma cannon is fired, the X-Men hurry to their spaceship. They want to rescue Magneto and the remaining Acolytes as well, but they prefer to stay aboard Asteroid M and die as it goes down. Oh, yes, kids, and this was Chris Claremont's final comic with Marvel until 1998.
No kidding. This issue?
Yeah.
I thought for some reason he stayed on for a while after this.
No. When he returned to Marvel as editorial director and the regular writer of Fantastic Four.
No kidding.
Oh, that's right. He was writing Fantastic Four when they came back from Heroes Reborn. Yeah.
So I wonder, I guess it must have been Scott Lobdell that took over after him on this.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 7-year break there.
Wow.
So, yeah, he had a long run on X-Men. So, yeah, this was the
yeah.
final issue of his original run, kids.
Yeah. I wonder if that was planned, that they were just going to be like, well, can you do the first 3 issues of X-Men before you take off and do whatever else he was planning.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, it was a whole new era and stuff, and yeah, I wonder if they had planned that.
That's interesting.
But yeah, this one was interesting because I mean, we see like Rogue and some of the other team members like come to their senses. They hinted at Wolverine first, and I'm just like, did he come to his sense? They never really spelled it out. I'm like, did he come to his senses, or was he faking the whole time? Because his mind has been messed with so many times. I could see them saying, well, yeah, it didn't work on Wolverine because he's had so many mind wipes and stuff. It's not going to work on him.
Yeah, he's immune to mind control at this point, just by default. Yeah. Yeah, I really liked. For me, the highlight of this was the fight between the 2 different teams of X-Men. Like the battle was great. But I also liked the whole scene at the end where Xavier's pleading with Magneto, and they're getting closer with the cannon, and there's all this tension mounting. It's a really good way to wrap up the story.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of excellent dialogue here, especially with Moira McTaggart trying to make amends for what she did to Magneto when he was an infant, and trying to, get some absolution for her conscience as well in the midst of all this.
And again, just that Jim Lee art, like that Magneto panel. Yeah, like that.
It's so good.
Eyes glowing and everything.
Yeah. Yep.
So sorry, Justin, no close-ups of Gambit in that Speedo or whatever.
Yeah. That's okay. That panel was good enough for me. I'll take Gambit and a Speedo any day of the week.
And are those sunglasses he's wearing? I'm like, you're on a space station. I'm like, why are you wearing sunglasses?
I know. Doesn't he have some light sensitivity thing because of his eyes?
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I think he just wants to look cool.
Yeah. I remember his eyes are different from everybody else's for some reason.
Yeah, well, I know they glow. Yeah, I can't remember if they have sensitivity or not.
That's funny.
But yes, I love the other team. They get up there in that basically a see-through collider. Yeah. Then they get. Did they not build a door into it? Like Iceman had to freeze the side of it, and then they had to have Colossus punch their way out of it.
Oops. They borrowed Wonder Woman's invisible jet, and they didn't ask her where the door was.
Then they break in and they see Xavier. He's like, I was hoping for a pizza delivery. And I love Colossus. Is Professor Xavier unwell, Storm? He is making a joke.
It is quite a difference from the Professor Xavier from Uncanny X-Men #1.
Oh yes, and Ford showing off his '90s power to make big guns.
Yes. He had a lot of those in the early 90s.
Oh, everyone did.
Yeah. But he also had cool stuff like the energy shield, which he
Yeah.
utilizes in this issue, and some other stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Psylocke tries to take Iceman, and that take out Iceman. That backfires when she
That
gets
backfires. Yeah.
Yeah, his powers just shoot out everywhere.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, big fight.
Yeah, I love this. It's a very epic story. It has
Mm.
a very epic quality to it. This whole 3-issue story.
Oh, and then the MacGuffin is basically Moira telling Magneto, "No, my process didn't. It only worked as long as the mutant didn't use their power. The minute you used your power, yeah, that undid everything." So, which, okay, so that's the thing. I would guess that's either why Wolverine wasn't affected or came to his senses quickly, because his power is his healing factor. So, I mean, that factor is always working to keep him young, right? So,
right, it would make sense. Yeah. It makes sense that his healing factor would try to combat whatever that was, because it's some type of, isn't it some type of viral thing that Cortez does, like with his mind control powers, or however they were mind controlling.
That was the Moira technique, wasn't it? That brain.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
It wasn't Cortez, yeah.
But I'm just like, yeah. So between his healing factor and that he's been mind wiped 50 times, yeah, it's like, Wolverine never should have been.
Yeah, he should have just coughed a couple of times and be like, yeah, that's not going to work on me.
I'm sure there wasn't room in like these issues, but it would have been cool if they would have done another homage where it's like, yeah, Wolverine wasn't brainwashed at all, and like basically had to sneak around this asteroid on, a la like that classic scene, when he was trying to sneak into the Hellfire Club.
Yes.
From the sewers. Yeah, they should do
something like that. That would be cool.
And yes, kids, the satellite blows up, so of course Magneto's dead. We'll never see him again.
Ever. This is it. Exactly. And the Acolytes. The Acolytes never come back after this.
No, of course not now.
And certainly not with a new leader. That we'll see endlessly in the 90s.
And I think, what are we, like 3 years from Age of Apocalypse?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we might have to do a month on that.
Yes.
That would take like a month.
Extinction Agenda.
Oh, we have that coming. Yeah.
Yes.
Executioner Song.
Executioner Song. That one's a long one.
It's like, what, 18 parts or something?
Yeah.
Well, that goes through what, 3-4 books?
3 or 4 different ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably both X-Men books, X Factor and X Force. Yeah.
Yeah. What a mess that one was.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's another thing. We'll have to do an episode on Cable and his tangled history.
Yeah. And we'll definitely have to cover some X-Force too. I'd like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm down for X-Force. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm excited because they're finally reprinting the Uncanny X-Force omnibus that's been out of print for a few years. I actually missed the first printing of that. And I wanted to get that because I've only read bits and pieces of that series, but I loved it.
Oh,
I wanted to read the whole thing. Yeah, the Rick Remender.
Yes. Is that the iteration with Psylocke in there, isn't she?
Psylocke, Wolverine, Phantom X, Deadpool, and Archangel. Yeah, so good. I love that. So I'm excited. That's, I think, coming out this summer. That omnibus is being reprinted, so I'm going to pick that up.
Keep you updated on that, kids.
Yes.
Oh, what was the one? Was it Fatal Attractions? The one where Magneto rips the adamantium out of Wolverine.
Yes.
We should do that or something.
We should
or either maybe 2 separate episodes. Do the one where he gets the adamantium pulled out, and then when they put it back in.
Yeah. And another one where he gets his hand chopped off.
Wait, Wolverine?
Yeah.
That's Age of Apocalypse, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, is it Age of
I
Apocalypse?
think it's Age of Apocalypse. Yeah, an Age
Oh,
of
okay.
It has like an adamantium stump or something.
Yes, it was just a stump. I couldn't remember what story that was. That's so funny. Yeah. They've done a lot of different things to Logan over the years.
Oh yeah. There's like a weird, there's like arc from his solo book. I think that Eric Larson wrote it. It's like basically him versus Galactus. Like he's basically on an alien planet and Galactus shows up.
Because why not? Right? I love that. Was that in Marvel Comics Presents?
No, it was Wolverine's book. That's what I'm
It
saying.
was in his own title?
Oh,
That sounds like a Marvel Comics Presents story.
I know it is. But he's like trying to help evacuate people off this planet.
It's so funny.
All right. Anything else, Justin?
No, I'm really happy that we covered all of these, Phil. These were fun. Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Well, next time, kids, one of my personal favorites. Yeah, we're going to cover more. I know one of the early Marvel Tales episodes, we did cover some Nate Gray X-Men, like his first, his first 4 issues from maybe Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
But yes, next time we're going to cover one of my personal favorite stories of his. Yeah. From X-Men 63 through 66.
We're going to jump ahead a bit in the X-Men series. Yeah.
If anyone remembers the Counter X era, what was it? It was either 1999 or 2000, where they kind of, all the X books kind of jumped ahead. I think it was like 6 months or something.
Oh,
there was a bunch of changes and different costumes and looks, and I
don't think I read any of that, so this is going to be all new to me.
Yeah, it was around the turn of the century. So, but yeah, I mean, you don't have to have read any of the other X books. It's just basically, there's been a time jump. Now Nate Gray's different.
Nice.
Yeah, so
very cool.
I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah, it's Warren Ellis now. Yeah.
Yeah, I like his stuff a lot.
So yes, kids, send us your thoughts and send us your requests. What do you want to see us cover? Again, the Extinction Agenda is coming this year. We got a March, and we're gonna have a whole month of Wolverine for his 50th anniversary.
There's going to be a few annuals in Atlantis Attacks.
Yes.
Which we'll be covering on Marvel Tales.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull. I know we're going along here, but it's the first episode. Let me pull the schedule up here. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming up here, kids. Wolverine stuff in March, including the whole Weapon X story for Marvel Comics Presents.
The origin.
Exactly. Extinction Agenda. Of course, yeah. Like we said, in October, we're going to cover. Yeah, we'll do that here. In October, we're going to cover when Beast first grows his fur.
Yeah. I'm excited about that, too. It's been a long time since I've read that story.
Very, very long. Oh, yes. November, I guess we're going to get to some. We're going to get Excalibur.
Yes. For my birthday month, one of my personal favorites.
And we'll probably have a surprise or two along the way. So
yeah, definitely.
And again, if we're not doing this, we're doing Marvel Tales. So yes, kids, you're gonna we'll get something.
Get something every week. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So yes, email us your thoughts, your requests. CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Again, I do have some comics and some merch. So, send us some feedback. Get a prize.
Yes. Get some goodies.
You can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, like I said, merchandise, and the Patreon, which, again, it's getting crazier and crazier over there. Yeah. It's getting more and more.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
You'll walk away saying two things.
Oh, that's naughty. I love it.
So find everything all in one place. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. All right, now for this Justin the Owl, the king of podcasting, besides every podcast on Earth, specifically, yes, you can hear him every week, either on Marvel Tales or X-Men Classics or both. Sometimes you'll get a both.
Sometimes both, yeah.
So, which, again, when this episode hits next week, yes, you'll you'll get this and in Marvel Tales. So you can also find him on twice a month on Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast with me and Tyler Patrick, doing Superman in Order from John Byrne's Man of Steel. And of course, you can hear him on monthly on shows with me and Russell, such as We Are the Night, the
Batman podcast,
doing our monthly Azrael episode, and of course, Energon Universe, where we cover all the new Transformers and G.I. Joe content coming out of Image Comics. But that is not all he does.
That's right,
sir. Where else can people find you talking comics?
You can also find me at Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where 3 times a month now, Russell and I talk about the Incredible Hulk and the Sensational She-Hulk. And we also have a Patreon, so do check that out. Also, we are joined by none other than the High Priest of Khonshu himself, Ray, and the birthday boy himself. Happy birthday, Ray. Over on Predator and Prey, the Yucha podcast, where we're reviewing the new Predator comics from Marvel, as well as the old Predator comics from Dark Horse. And Russell and I are also doing Gone, the Form of Man, the Etrigan podcast, where we are reviewing DC's Demon series in its entirety from 1974. And last but not least, the Lost Library of Legends is still going strong, my solo show, and I will be covering an Impact Comics title in the next episode called The Jaguar.
Going back to the 90s here, bitch.
Oh, my.
Cock-a-doodle-doo!
Double biscuits. My Tweety Bird. Like that.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Again, you'll get some Marvel Tales, but next time we do X-Men Classic, it'll be X-Men 63 through 66.
Yes. Returning to the adventures of Nate Gray.
Good story, kids. Trust me. We love it.
Yeah. I'm excited for that one.
You never read that story. See if you can guess the twist. Plot twist, kids. And then if you like that one, eventually we'll get to the arc after where they say, well, how did Nick Gray get to this point from 6 months
ago? They fill in the blanks. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
If you like that, then we can do the next one where they explain what happened.
Very cool.
All right, kids, come back next time. You know you love it. You're attracted to the show like a magnet, didn't I?